Okay. Hi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Doreen. I'm so glad y'all came back. Well, I hope you came back. And if you didn't come back and this is your first video, I hope you go watch the other videos that I've done with my friend who's getting ready to introduce himself. So I'll let him go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTube world. My name is Abe, and I'm just so happy that you guys have decided to come to the channel and commune with us today. We're going to get into some really, really delectable things.
Not delectable. So Abe had a recent situation that happened in class that he called me about, and I wanted to give him teacher kind of perspective, but then I felt like let's definitely open this conversation up to our audience and see what they have to say about it. So maybe you can get into what exactly happened the other day when you were in class.
Yes. So I first would like to say that as a disclaimer, all of this is alleged. And this is completely fictional as well. And this is just me making things up. Okay, so I was in class, and I am in a class that is called the Black Atlantic. And this is supposed to be a class that talks about the connections of Black people in the maritime culture in Europe and, the Black International, which is supposed to be a socialist concept of Black solidarity against imperialism, capitalism, and colonialism with Amy Ashwood Garvey, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Claudia Jones, Paul Robeson, C.L.R. James, and all of them that basically paved the way for critical Africana studies, which is, they pioneered that. I was in class and we were watching a series. Some of you who are from the UK have probably already heard of it called Small Island. And there is a scene in Small Island in which where one of the actors, what is his name? Well, it's one of the husband of I don't think her name is, well, she's a school teacher. She's a school teacher in Jamaica, and she comes to Jamaica and oh, I'm saying too much. Lord Jesus help me.
Okay.
Well, the lady is a school teacher. She's a school teacher that goes to Jamaica. She can't find a job. She idealizes Britain as the all that there is to be. She wants to be a British woman. And ultimately, she goes to Britain and has a rude awakening. Her husband is a veteran from the Second World War. And basically, they make an arrangement to get married so that way she can go and become a teacher and he can work and send money back to Jamaica for his family. That is mostly how Windrush families or families that migrate to the United States, Canada, the Caribbean, from the Caribbean tend to do. You know what I'm saying? To fulfill their goals and their needs because they can't get what they need in their own respective countries.
Mm.
So there's a scene where the husband kneels down to a white man and apologizes. Now, this is a racial hate scene in which he was essentially, I guess, in a sense, forced to have to get on his knees and apologize because the white man was going to threaten that he was going to call the police and have him arrested and he would get deported back to Jamaica, even though Jamaica at that time was a British territory. And so I mean, yeah.
So wait,
So
he was getting arrested for what exactly?
well, the white man was harassing him, calling him a wog, calling him a nigger, and all of those type of things. And so he was responding back.
Okay.
And the three white men basically ganged up and teamed up on him and said, our word against yours, and made him kneel down and say sorry. At the end, Well, firstly, and during the class, I was talking, but I wasn't talking directly to the teacher. I was talking to another student, and then we were having a conversation about the Holocaust. And that's a whole nother different thing because we were talking about the Holocaust in Africa that happened before as a precursor to the Jewish Holocaust.
Mm.
Um, he was just like, "Oh, do you have something to say?" And I was just like, "No, I'll let someone else who is just as intelligent as me speak." And I pointed to the other side of the room that never contributes anything. So, um, I mean, it's the truth. There's nothing up there. But I ended up, you know, raising my hand at the end of class and basically sharing my observations on why the optics of a Black man kneeling down to a white man
Mm.
is, even though it is true and it could have been a true situation, it is still very problematic to
Mm-hmm.
see that and to show younger Black people that representation of inferiority when there were Black people who fought against that, like
Mm.
Claudia Jones, like
Mm.
Olive Morris. You know what I'm saying? There were Black people at that time who said, absolutely not. I don't care if I get deported back to Jamaica, to Barbados, to Trinidad and Tobago, to Guyana. I'm not going to bow down and apologize to a white man. I don't care if I'm right or wrong.
Mm.
There were Black people who had an issue with what I was saying. It was the other side of the room.
Okay.
Six of them, it took six of them to
Six.
team up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Six.
6. 6.
It took
Okay.
six people,
Mm.
including the professor, to team up against me to basically tell me that I was wrong. Now, the professor, he is a white liberal. And as we know, white
Well, hold on.
liberals,
We're gonna have to stop right there. White liberal teaching at in this alleged story. White liberal teaching at HBCU, a Black Atlantic class.
I mean, it sounds absolutely absurd, right?
I'm
But this
just
is,
like go ahead because I have a lot of questions.
yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot going on, right? So
Yes.
that's a whole lot of stuff going on right there. But then I'm getting attacked. Somebody is saying, but that was the time back then. They were forced. They had to do this. I said, yes, that may be true. But what is the point of showing that and portraying that?
Mm.
Why aren't tropes of resistance shown more in Black British? I mean, there's small acts, of course, and we thank God for small acts. But why isn't there more representation, or why was that added in? You know? And
Mm.
also, I related it to real life. I said, why do Black people feel the need to apologize or to simp to white people? I also made a term about Queenie Bly, who was the white woman who slept with a Black Jamaican World War II veteran and had a child, a mixed race child, and she never saw the man again because he went to Canada. That's a lot right there. She uh, is a white paternalist. She thinks because she screws Black men, she thinks because she's letting Black men stay in her house because they have nowhere else to stay, that she's this moral Mother Teresa figure.
Mm-hmm.
When really, in reality, she's not, because there's a scene with Hortense, that's the lady's name, Hortense. Hortense was walking down the street in London, and she was just like, that is called upholstery. That is called a cafe. And Hortense is just like, if I need your opinion or if I need your directions, I will ask. I'm not stupid. I know what these things are. I am a teacher. I have been trained as a school teacher in Jamaica. So do not tell me what something is. I taught children. and got paid for it. So you cannot tell me that, you know. And also the things implying that she doesn't know certain things, or, oh, let me teach you. You know how white people do when they're sympathetic, but they don't have any consciousness of race. They just think, you know how they are.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about that as well. And I talked about how do Black people play into white paternalism? You know what I'm saying? And how do they play into these tropes? Now, the professor ended up agreeing with me and also agreeing with them. Mind you, it was only 6 people. It had took 6 people, and they were texting back and forth while they were doing it because we have previous issues due to a situation with PBS that they were integral in a part where they basically used, I'm going to tell the truth. Well, this is alleged and this is all made up, but in my sick mind, it's the truth. Nepotism,
Mm.
association with families, you know what I'm saying, who may allegedly be alumni, who knows, you know, um, and different types of factors of these professors allegedly being pawns, you know what I'm saying, took an opportunity away not just from me and my friend, but from so many other Black people and Black creatives who could have used this for their resume as a stepping stone to get from point A to point B. It was about reparations, and it was with Erica Alexander, Color Farm Media, and many other individuals who were associated with this project.
Not Erica Alexander from Living Single.
Because we are living single. Yeah.
It's a 90s kind of world.
Yeah.
No, I have
Maxine Shaw, attorney at law.
I have I have lots of things to say. Okay, so going back to the white professor, um, does he consistently show movies and shows in this class?
Yes, he showed the movie with Amandla Rue from The Hunger Games. The movie that got a lot of backlash because it was a Black German girl falling in love with a
The
Nazi.
Nazi film? Oh,
Yes.
no, 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 no. Okay, hold on, we're gagged. So that was going to be my first question, which was, are they showing a lot of movies and shows, and what kinds of movies and shows? And then as a teacher, are they there providing like this critical kind of like lens to these types of films? No, no, I don't think so.
Uh, well,
Allegedly.
allegedly, they only graze the surface,
Mm,
but they never go deeply into the in-date roots of these things. Maybe because they know that the individuals on the other side are very indoctrinated. Because of those individuals, they're coddled.
mm,
They're not very, one of them does not get by their own merit. I have tea that this person went to a leadership conference and fell asleep in the seat while it was going on. Yeah, I'm gonna say it, allegedly. And yes, I made it up. What? And they were wondering, and the people that were there were wondering why were they there?
mm,
Why were they there? And how did they get the information? Because it was only reserved for a certain group of individuals.
mm. I guess, oh, it's so much, so much. I feel so. First of all, I think this is a really good point that you raise about why do we see so many types of like white paternalism happening, not just in white characters that exist as allies in these movies or co-conspirators in these movies, but within the Black people. And why aren't we seeing more radical Black figures or just the Black resistance movements being depicted in a certain kind of way? And I think immediately to that, to the movie that came out about Fred Hampton.
Yes.
And it felt like that movie missed the mark in so many ways. But then I feel that Hollywood or, whatever,
The establishment, whomever.
like, I don't know if I trust you enough to be able to tell the stories that need to be told. So I feel conflicted. Like, okay, you had a chance, you messed it up, but now I'm feeling like how many, it's like Black trauma porn at this point, that we keep
Yes.
seeing stories about slavery and we understand how traumatic and horrific it was. We understand, but we also understand that we had resistance. So why isn't that also being depicted? Not even at all. Like, I want to see something come out about Harriet Tubman, like her over here walking around with a shotgun. Like, I don't know. And then I also think in regards to these students, because I know that they were going to work with you on on another event for reparations.
Well, they weren't on the event. I
Mm.
had to step down because they tried to pull a power move and institute a board. And because
Oh,
of my
okay.
own integrity, um, I stepped down because I personally felt like I, first of all, don't want to go through all these leaps and hoops to water down something.
But
That's
what's
one.
with the bureaucratic moves? Like, I'm a little bit anarchist, so I don't know if I believe in this. Like, we need a board, we need this, we need that. Let's work together. Let's work in community. We don't need leadership. We don't need titles. Let's work together and let's get this done because it's needed. But then I also feel there are people like this, not just these students, because I'm not going to pick on these students. There are people like this that enter into these spaces and these conversations, and they're using a lot of woke language.
Thank you. Thank you.
They are capitalists, and they are dressing themselves up in the language of liberation. And it's getting to be too much. I see this so much in academic spaces with, and I pick on men a lot, but I'm gonna get on Black women for a little bit. I see
Oh,
this
good
a
on
lot.
them.
I see this a lot with Black women in academic spaces, professors, like some of these adjuncts and instructors. It seems like there's competition here. And I don't know what we're competing for. Competing to belong here? Here? No. Publish or perish? I'd rather perish. And quiet is kept. I always tell people when it comes to like these socialist organizations and it comes to political education, the worship of written text is a tenet of white supremacy. So I'm good. I'm good. Let's honor oral tradition.
Oh,
I'm good. And I say this
they're gonna be mad
and I say
at
this as
you.
somebody that is like a writer. And yeah, I get it. Like publishing is important, but do you understand what oral tradition means in Black communities and the
Oh,
history of
oh,
it? It just
Negro spirituals.
exactly in Black radical tradition, like we can't escape it. So publish or perish, I'm good. There's just a lot of like things that happen in the academic world that I really don't want any part in. I come in, do what I do for the students, and I leave. And quite frankly, I love the students. Don't tell them I said it. But if I could, I would teach them for free. It comes very easy. I like engaging with them. There's too much bureaucratic mess that happens in these higher education spaces. It's just absolutely unattainable to people. I wish to not be in those spaces. I just want to break out. So there's just a lot of co-optation that's happening. And it feels like it's disingenuous, it's inauthentic. Like, I don't know, I like all of the words, right?
It's every word we can say.
It's every
It's every
word.
word. It's every
Yeah.
word. It's every word. I mean, personally, um, to add on to the story, um, this person reads CLR James. They know about, we're learning about Amy Ashwood Garvey. I mean, we're learning about Claudia Jones and all of these people, but you do me dirty
Mm.
on a project and you don't challenge the system or anything.
Mm.
You just say fall in line. But again, you can't trust, and I know I'm gonna make some people mad. You can't trust white people to take your side and to advocate fully for you. You got to advocate for yourself.
Mm.
And my mother taught me that. My mother said, "You are your best investment." My mother always told me, "Abe, you're going to have problems in life because you're Black, you're smart, and you know what you be talking about." And there are people that are going to be very intimidated by you,
Mm.
very intimidated by you because you know what you're talking about. And you don't take what people tell you. I don't. I don't take what people tell me. Yeah, you have a PhD, but who says I should believe you? You know?
Mm. Mm. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm sorry that it was like one, two, three, four, five, six people against you in this professor who seemed to mm,
Was laughing, giggling the whole time, smiling, stretching back in the seat.
see, but
Like when we talk about
that's what I
Black,
don't understand. That's what I don't understand. If you're going to go as far as to show us these films and these movies, you have to create context, you have to create space. You have to be willing to facilitate and stand, because if I'm in a class and we're watching movies about mistreatment, dehumanization of Black people, bottom line, cut and dry, is going to be respect in here for ancestors. No ifs, ands, buts about it. But with white folks teaching at HBCUs, you can't really expect that.
it doesn't matter if a white person reads all the CLR James, Alice Walker, it doesn't matter. They're still a white person and they still have the tendency and the propensity to be racist because we live in a society and a country that was built on the building blocks of dehumanization and separating people because of what their skin color is. Period. And HBCUs have not always been safe spaces.
Oh,
Let's wake it up
oh,
for Black people. Ida B. Wells was expelled from Russ College for speaking out against her white president because most of these HBCUs were created by the American Missionary Association, which was a colonization project to make Black people like white people or acceptable to white people.
oh, speak on that. You
So,
can't just say that. Hold on. You can't just say that. Because a lot of our HBCUs are, what are these? Agricultural, technical, these kinds of skills,
right,
right?
but it was to keep them in the fields. It was to keep them. That's why Du Bois and Washington had that debate. Du Bois said niggas want to read, niggas want to learn Latin and Greek. Let niggas do that.
Mm.
Like, like
Mm.
if niggas want to learn about history, let niggas learn about history. If niggas want to learn about English, let niggas learn about English. They can put together a spoke wheel and learn Latin at the same damn time. At the same damn time. Like it's like
Mm.
it's too much. It's
I don't know.
too much.
I wonder, like, what is it gonna take? What is it gonna take, or like what will save us? What's gonna save our
I've lost
HBCUs, babe?
hope.
You lost hope?
I've lost hope.
No, don't lose hope.
I know we gotta keep hope alive like Jesse Jackson, but it's getting hard. It's getting real. It's getting real hard.
Hmm.
I don't know how long I can sojourn with Black people of today.
Oh.
I don't know. It's getting too much. Oh, just hang on in there. That's easy to say. but it's hard to do. Martin Luther King used to come back and be in the room for days depressed because of Black people. And then when he died, they acted like they liked him all of a sudden. He was not the most liked man when he was alive. You know, I mean, I think about Ella Baker. She was almost expelled from Shaw because she didn't want to wear no white leggings like some old lady.
Not some old lady.
Yeah. Like so many, like, and then the sad part is these students are in the NAACP locally. Well, some people was, I'm not gonna go there. Allegedly they are. Uh, they're a part of these civic organizations and all of this, but they have no political consciousness. They have no social awareness of what it means to be a Black person in America. They think that the police, the NAACP, and all these systems is going to save them. When these systems were built on slavery, and when they want us, they will have no issue turning it around and turning on us. And what do we do then? Do we call the NAACP then? They're going to tell us to go march and hold hands and sing, "We shall overcome."
Not lift every voice and sing.
Lift every voice and sing.
You know what? We should start a podcast. Kidding. The way we giving it up. Okay, I think that'll be the end of this video. And we have another video planned. We want to get more into what we're seeing in education at HBCUs, especially with Black students. So if you want to watch that video, you're gonna have to wait. But anyways, yes. So if you made it to the end of this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna link both of our Instagrams in the description box. And let us know what y'all think. What else do y'all want to hear us talk about? So yeah, bye.
Au revoir.